gesture, I guess, that we have over here, in which we feel more comfortable talking with each other with our webcams on.
Okay, will you be sharing the screen? Like, I can go ahead and help with the hosting in if you need. But the only issue is there are people in my house, just in case if you guys get noise in background. So
Yeah.
just want to avoid
Okay,
it
I'll go
today.
ahead and share the screen in the meanwhile then. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you.
And also, we are currently live, so thank you, Bhumika, for that. Um, please go ahead and write your name over in the attendees list if you haven't yet. It's how we keep track of who's been here and such. Um, so usually we have the announcements. There is no current announcements right now, so we can go right ahead and start tackling on the topic. So, Kushim, if you're here, if you could go ahead and present this one.
Yeah, yeah. Let me share my screen.
Okay, thank you.
So to give a bit of a context about this, the Explore workspace had quite many errors. Like you see here, the first one was this: the both icons for org and workspace, they are overlapping, and second, this one, this UI is not very user friendly, and third one was this: uh, it wasn't properly displayed. So this was before the changes I made. Also, there was another error. Like if we open this, I guess it was, yeah. So the viewport size of this wasn't fixed, so it adjusted automatically. Yeah. So all these error I have fixed here. So after the changes, it is now like this. So I added a bottom sheet component here for displaying this. And now the viewport size for this dialog box is also fixed. So this PR was all about that, and it has been reviewed, and I've also made all the suggested changes. So yeah, if anyone has any feedback on this, you can comment it, or you can share. So yeah, that's what was from my side.
Thank you. Yeah, I briefly went through it in the morning, and I think it's good to merge since you tackled all of the things which were needed to improve on. So yeah, I think it looks good, I suppose.
Okay. So if you can approve with that, I'll merge it then.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go ahead and do that.
Okay, thanks.
No problem. Let me share my screen again. So thank you, Kushim. Now, this is for Huston. This is the hard part. I really do not want to mispronounce anyone's name, so I will go ahead and just say Garg. Are you Miss Garg? Are you here?
Well, yeah, Suryansh Garg, are you here? No? All right, so next up is Omkar. You want to talk about Meshery CTL relationships?
Yes, yes.
Good deal. So there's a relationship generate command. That's interesting.
So currently, Meshery SQL relationship command is fragile, and when we pass when we pass CSV, so the column is uh, if we shuffle the column, so command is not returned, it will show error. So
Okay. Okay. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Guess what? Your audio just isn't of high quality, and it's just people can't hear you or understand you, or I can't,
uh,
and I'm pretty sure no one else can. And so, do you want to take a minute? We'll come back to you maybe after a couple of other agenda items. If you take a moment and see if you can fix maybe either your microphone situation, or if it happens to be your internet, maybe you can't present today, or maybe there's a different place in your house or something where you get better internet. I don't know. But
yeah, sure, I'll check it. I'll check.
good. I couldn't hear what you said, but I'm pretty sure it was amenable. So I just, yeah,
Sure,
good.
I'll check it.
All right. Back to Lennox. Who do we have up next?
Now it should be Bart.
Yep.
So
Just a second. I'm sharing my screen.
okay.
So I actually had two agenda items today. The first one being this issue. This issue was discussed by Chaitanya in the last development meeting last Wednesday, and the issue is that on the credentials page on the lifecycle section, while deleting a credential, there is no uh, dialog box or there is no confirmation for such a destructive action, which is inconsistent with other destructive actions, for example, in the environments section. So, just a second. So, according to the issue, I just use this prompt component from Systent. I reuse this component, and this is the preview. And all the checks are passing. So, I would appreciate a review on this.
Cool. Thanks, Parth. Anything else?
Yep. So, the second agenda item was just a second. Yeah. Second agenda item was this PR. So Lee and Chaitanya actually gave some feedback last week. So I addressed all of them. So first of all, I removed the word successful from the entire div wherever I use that. The second one was keeping the CTL and the UI responses unified through the schemas. So I did that, and also the response is now descriptive, like deleted this number of models for so and so registrant,
Hey,
and I
Parth,
update.
do we have
Yeah,
example text like that in any of the other API operations?
and just a second. This I actually did not really check for the for some other uses of this example, but I felt like to be to explain the user this example was necessary. Rest I'll check once after this meet, and if there is no such user, then I'll remove it. But I also updated the server and the CLI to be unified and to print the same response.
Yash, Mahakal, do we have templates for this kind of a thing?
I'm not sure. I guess, yep, we have, I guess, for credentials.
Yash, we do or we don't? Because this would be part of knitting a model.
Yeah, we have. About, yep, sorry, about what?
Initializing a model.
Yep, we have a template.
Okay, do you have any other feedback to offer? Guidance to Parth then?
I will take a look on his PR and will give my feedback on it.
Yeah. And one more thing, there was one another feedback, like the to change the color of the response. So earlier it was green, and this isn't exactly a success message. So I updated the PR with that as well. Just a second, there is yeah. So I updated the PR with that as well. So now the response is in this red color. This is the preview for the CTL, and the responses are the same everywhere in the folder, so it is unified. And yeah, all the checks are passing. I tried to address all the feedback and the follow-ups given by other maintainers as well.
Good,
So
Parth. Was it you that just presented on the delete action?
the this one, UA credentials.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, why do you think I was talking about something else?
No, actually,
Then just
the preview I just
you can just answer yes. So in the other preview that you just showed, maybe that screen recording was taken before you had fixed the coloring? Or is the coloring of the delete button still green?
I guess this one was taken before I fixed this credentials thing.
It was or wasn't? Which delete button did you fix?
So this PR was th actually this is entire different scope. So this one added a new
Okay,
reuse a new component from
so
system.
then it doesn't matter if the video was taken before or after, right? What I'm getting at is, hey, start small, be successful, drop your second PR. It's too complex. You don't understand schemas. Yash Makal, who's been here for a long time, doesn't understand templates, doesn't understand how to give feedback. And he's not being super successful. So Parth, my recommendation for you is that where you're where you're improving how it is that we're allowing users to delete a resource, and you're ensuring that we're showing users a confirmation modal, that's wonderful. That's super helpful. Someone could get really upset that they accidentally deleted a resource. So it's very helpful. And it's small in nature, and it looks like you're going to be successful impacting the project in that way, and that's wonderful. Take a moment then to go assess the other places that we have a delete button, like the one that was in that screen recording. I'm pretty sure, or I know for sure last week we gave feedback that it's the wrong color. That's not your fault, but it's just a side note. And since you're working on improving it, you're saying that one is out of scope. I'm saying put it in scope and go be successful, impacting the project even more.
Understood. Understood. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be really helpful.
I'll definitely look into it, and I'll just see how can I how can this PR be more impactful for the project. Yeah.
And if you can, bring a different microphone next time. It's your voice is like overpowering the microphone. Maybe it's not the volume as much as it's just so it's just super loud. Is it just me, or can everyone else hear Parth really well? Sometimes it's
I
just
mean, if it's just you, then also I can change the microphone next time. I'll keep that in mind.
yep, but yeah, please bring a different one, because otherwise I'll ask that you don't present, because it just is
Sure.
hard, difficult. Who else has a difficult time hearing Parth. Is it just me?
Yeah,
No,
I
I
do
didn't.
have.
Same. I think it is because maybe he doesn't have a mic near to his mouth, or the headphone itself might be possible.
It's possible, yeah. Yeah. Apple did this really weird thing, or they're known for it. They have these nice little AirPods, is that what they're called? Where the microphone is next to your receiving device, not your output device. I don't get it, but it's not next to your voice, so it doesn't work. So yeah. So invest in yourself. Invest if you're going to play cricket. Go get a cricket bat. Bring your glove or your uniform, your jersey. If you're going to be a software engineer, bring your microphone, bring your video camera, bring your internet. And yeah, all right. Lennox, who else wants to get wonderful feedback?
All right, so next person, it's actually our newcomer. Let me see. Actually, I want to pronounce it right this time. Omolade. I think I did it right. So, if you're, are you still here?
Yeah, she was on.
Yeah, she was on just a moment ago. If not, we can just circle back to her whenever she comes back. So. Okay, and next one, this one I'm not gonna mispronounce it. It's me. So uh for some context, I was working on getting all of the previous working for, I don't think this is actually gonna load. Give me one second. I was working on getting all of the previous back. They were broken for like a couple of days. So I went through all of them and made sure that all of them are currently working. They are now, but the subject in itself is because can we have like our own repository for actions? The thing is, I was asking for help in order to ensure that all of my actions were like as you were requesting, they were all the same.
Did we write our own action?
Yeah.
We wrote our own action, not our own workflow. So we have a reusable action that is publishable to the marketplace.
Oh no, we wrote the workflow, but we didn't write like the action itself, so we can like publish it. That's.
I would suggest that it's a next step. Like we have a hard enough time just trying to get deployment previews working after X number of weeks. I'm sure that still probably don't have, or rather, I'll ask: do we have pull request previews working
Yeah.
across all of these?
Let's get started again.
Peace. Your microphone is audible.
Oh.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, they are currently working.
That's
for
great.
the request.
That's great. So let's go once we have our house in order, we can take a more sophisticated step.
Okay. So
I was. It would be really good. Like it'd be really helpful to be able to. It just takes. It takes a higher amount of understanding and coordination and sophistication. We have that in many places where we do reuse. It's not that we publish our own actions. We publish a number of them to the marketplace. We keep some of them just local because they're only useful to us. They do get reused in the sense that they're referred to. They also get reused in the sense that we invoke them remotely from a different repo, which is helpful. But by and large, there are only a few of us here who spend enough time to understand it as it goes, and generally it falls down. How long it took for us to get to just having the same make targets across the Hugo repos is evidence enough that like we're not at that maturity level. So I wish that we were, but it's a bad idea up front.
Okay. So
Let's
yeah, is there? Well, no, you said no. So I mean, what I did with the make files is that and I hope it's visible enough that. Oh, let me see first. Uh, I wrote this giant. Well, it's not over this one. It's not on this repo. Oh well, but I wrote this giant target or banner, I guess, which says, "Please do not edit. If you're gonna edit this one, edit all of the other ones because they all need it." And I listed. Let me see if my it's at least something which helps out with making sure that all of them is here. It's like a shared template. Just follow this ones because that's mainly the like those little divergences between code is what makes it's what makes it hard, I guess, to make sure that all of them are under the same standard. But they should all be. I requested help to make sure that all of them are not on the pull request target anymore and that they are all like the same, but I'll just keep on iterating and making them better, I guess, since some of them didn't have like a cleanup on close. I think all of them just because we're making sure to just have this thing running. Also, for the deployments, there is something which can be bettered. A couple of the deployments were failing because there was like this setting and there was like this action which was being used, so I had to change it because the action in itself is either okay. So at the GitHub pages, either you delete all of the current directories or you keep them. So that's an issue when we have the PR previews at the same like root level as the other folders. So I had to change the action. So maybe I could go through all of the repos and make sure that none of the deployments which are being made are under that same setting because otherwise our GitHub pages is gonna get so filled up with stale artifacts. So
That makes sense. Yeah. And that's great. It's those types of steps that will get us to a point where having a reusable action is a relatively simple and logical next step. It's almost like a non-event because it fits. So
okay.
once our house is in order, or once that cleanup, like you were just saying with GitHub Pages, is done, before, like another good step to do before we get to a reusable action is like for many of the Hugo based sites, many of them, not all of them, but many of them are similar in that they are academies. And there's an example academy repo that if it isn't already literally a GitHub repo template, then that might be a good step to try to take, is like to get that to the point where even though it's a copy paste resource, the repo template, it still gets you to a point where good, whenever we make a new academy, it's at least it's has a consistent starting point that is correct. And right now, I'm not sure that this example template, this academy example, is correct.
So I went through all of the repos in order to make sure that they were all following like a standard. I do have one question. So over at the academy team, the Hugo module, it says that the use static is deprecated, but over here it was still being used, and that now the page bundling method it's preferred over directly having this static org UID images. So should this be removed so I can have it for page bundling only?
Seems like it. I'm not sure, but I mean it sounds convincing what you're saying.
Okay, cool.
And
So that'll be the next step, since I even on the PR which I merged over here, I also modified the README because it was very stale and all of the make targets were different. So I think that'll be the next logical step to make sure that this one it's just it serves as a template, I guess, and it's not outdated. Yeah.
that's wonderful. Yeah, and I'm glad that you said that last part because for the most part, the first portion of our discussion was sort of focused around the context of like the makefile and some of the workflows, but then but it turns out it's like all the rest. It's the README and all the rest of the structure. It's one of the things that I think Yash Mahakal did a good job of from what I could see. Yash, do you want to talk about what you had done in this example academy not too long ago?
Yeah, I guess in the example academy, we had some of the short codes defined there, so we had to add them on in all of the academies that we had.
It's really helpful. So there's a number of you that are on the call who actually, all of you that are on the call are capable of giving feedback on any PR, especially if it's like a CLI PR or a UI PR, anything that has a client, because that client, all of you have used the CLI, all of you have used the UI, and you're all users. You've all used lots of CLIs and lots of UIs. So your opinions and your experience are valid. Or like it's good for you to get in there and comment on pull requests and things. In the same way, all of you have either are or have been a student at one point, and you've gone through learning paths and courses and tests and exams. And so one of Meshery's areas of extensibility, one of Meshery's features is that you can have academies. It will help you have an integrated, interactive learning environment. Since Meshery allows you to design and provision your infrastructure. And so the way that the academies are built, that they have curricula, learning paths, and certifications, and Meshery has its own contributor certification. So for those of you who've been here for very long, at some point you might want to put the Meshery, the certified Meshery contributor, that certification onto your to-do list. It's a free exam. It's the only exam in the CNCF that is for contributors. Anyway, my long-winded story here is that of what Yash Mahakal just said, he said he improved each of the academies. There's about 5 or 6 of them or so, to ensure that when you're creating new content inside of an academy, it's just Markdown is how you define the content. That all of the short codes or all of the templates or the colors that you're supposed to use, or like that there's examples of all of those right inside of every academy. And so Lennox, I think, is showing that there's a couple of collections here, like collections of short codes. So there's some from the Academy theme, some from Doxy, a different theme, some from Hextra, a different theme. So we've gathered up a few different collections of different short codes, like if you want to show a YouTube video, just a short code to embed that video very quickly. So good, all of you that are on the call are like encouraged to participate in making the academies better or making the content better, either way. Cool. Now, Josh or Lennox, where can someone go look at all of the academies? Where can they get a list of those academies?
It's over at the topic,
Yeah.
Meshery Academy topic. Let me.
Yep.
I'll go ahead and send it over. Oh, never mind.
Nice.
There you go.
That's great.
So I think that's about it on that side. Just making sure that everything is up to standard. Well, so next person would be Chaitanya. If you're here, I guess you can take over.
Yeah, Chaitanya, oh, is he here? He had said maybe he wouldn't be able to make it. He was in transit or something.
Okay. Okay, so then it'll be Mishra.
Yes.
Okay, you can go ahead, I guess. You can share your screen.
Yes. So basically, this issue was about the AWS relationship about Elastic Cache. Basically, replication group is the parent resource, and the cache cluster and snapshot can reference it through this issue. So this issue was raised by Jenny, and I had worked on this. So basically, what I had added the missing relationship definition of AWS. Now Messi can recognize that the cache cluster and the snapshot are connected to the replication group through replication group reference. I had also added the required non-binding relationship configuration and verified it in a message.
All right. Olazai, Yash, you guys have any thoughts?
Yep. I guess Dhruvesh, you have. I saw your PR just now, right now, and you had, I guess, attached a screenshot of your. I guess. I mean, if you go through the issue, you will find a documentation, a doc link, a Google Doc link, and we have described like what you have to do and how you have to submit your PR. With some of the screenshots or preferably a short video explaining like how your relationships binds, how your components binds to each other, what are the evaluation engine results, and where you can find them, how you can test them. So we have described everything in detail. You will find some of the clips too. Oh yeah, I
Actually, I
changed
did
settings, I guess.
just so.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I will change the ownership, I guess, or maybe Olale will change the ownership of it. So what you have to do is we have described everything there. You will find everything, even with some of the short clips and some of the tutorials too. I mean workshop too. So you can go there and you can find how you can test it. What means what means by a correct relationship. What are some of the things that you should be avoiding while creating relationships and everything. So I will say please go there and check if you are getting the successful results, and please paste the preferably a video on your PR so we can validate it.
Sure, sir. I will go through it once
Yeah.
I get this.
Yep. Yeah. And I will update ownership right now.
Sure.
Yep.
That's all.
All right, Olazai, no feedback?
Yasha said it all, so
Okay, good. Hey, so before we get to Docs, before we get to you, if we could, we'll just circle back real fast to Umkar. Are you still in the same situation with your audio or not?
Is my I'm audible?
right now.
Sort of. If you put a lot of energy into listening actively, you can make it out. You want to try it? Go ahead. Actually, I have a question for you. The topic, I think one of the topics that you're going to present on, or that you want to discuss, is this one. Here's the meeting minutes. Try to shrink this down a little bit. Omkar. All right, so Meshery CTL relationship generate. Cool. What is that? Is there a requirement for that?
So yeah, currently Meshery CTL relationship generate is fragile, and when we pass the CSV, so if we pass the shuffled CSV, so it will break. It will pass. It have a duplicate code, and
Good.
also have
Good. Thanks. That's not what I'm asking. What I'm asking is, what is it? Where does this command come from, and what does it do?
Yep. So I use meshkit. Meshkit lives here. There is some passes and functions, and I centralize the command.
Nope. Stop.
Centralize the.
Nope. Wrong. Yash, what does it do?
Relationship.
I'm
CSV
sorry, I didn't get it.
Yeah. Okay? Is anyone else here paying attention and knows what this does? What are we doing here? Does anybody know what we're doing here? Go ahead. This is your third try.
It will convert the CSV into JSON relationship. So when we pass the CSV, so it will convert into JSON relationship that we make in Meshery CTL, Meshery relationships.
Okay, got it. Do you know where this CLI came from? This subcommand? Yash, do you? Olalai, do you? No, Yash and Olalai have both bowed out of the call. Okay. I am giving up on those two gentlemen. That's it. I give up. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know that we have any other, that the other generate commands that we have perform that functionality that they generate from.
We have registry, right? Meshery CTL registry, generate.
Okay. And so the generate commands probably need to, do you know who created that command, the relationship generate command, Omkar?
No, I don't.
Okay. Can you help me maybe figure that? Like, if in order for us to provide feedback, let's go figure that out. I'm not sure that we should have that command, or that it shouldn't be moved. Maybe that functionality belongs somewhere else.
Okay. I'll find out. I'll find out and share with you in Slack.
Thanks a bunch. Yeah. The problem that you're trying to fix makes sense. That the way that it's written currently makes some assumptions about the structure of the CSV, and it has to, but it could be written a little more robustly, is I think what you're trying to, the problem that you're trying to solve. So that makes sense. Let's first go figure out where that functionality should live.
Sure. I'll try.
Oh, thanks. So good. So we followed back up with Omkar. We're going to follow up with, well, on the topic of MCP server. Malade, you're not still here, are you? If not, it's been a few weeks. We'll need to make sure that she sends over a recording or something so that we can advance. Huh. Okay. All right. So Docs, before you present, can I suggest that these topics just aren't prepared to present. I don't know what they are. It's good that we have hyperlinks, but the effort put into making an agenda item is low and probably not something that we should spend time on. I don't even know what we would be spending time on. Can you do yourself and the rest of us a favor by typing that out or copying, pasting maybe what the title of the issue is, or I guess these are PRs.
I got you. Sure, I will do.
Good. I'm glad you had a moment to be able to speak because it was inaudible. So that means you're probably in the same camp as Omkar, which is you want to have a Zoom call before next week and test out your microphone with someone else to make sure that you're audible. People can hear you.
Am I audible right now?
Yeah, you sound like a little person shoved inside of a clamshell down under the ocean, and you're talking to another scuba diver. Like it's pretty terrible. Say something else, like Lee, you're a jerk.
Okay, Lee, I'll do the thing. I'll just add the title and get back to you maybe on the Slack if not possible here.
Yes, I agree to send you a check for $500. Is that what you said? Okay. Cool. I just don't, all the best I can do is try to entertain myself. All right. Lennox, do we have other agenda items?
No, I do have a question though. This is Mambi was working on a PR, and let me show you it. Give me 1 second. So to make a little bit more time, since no one has anything else to present in the meanwhile, I guess. Where is it? It's regarding the login. I cannot find it. Let me see if I can get it quickly over here. Well, there is in the Meshery server, there is a. Well, but it's like I'm not showing it anyway, so it's just confusing for me to be talking about it. Let me open this up. Here it is. Just 1 second. So this is in regards of the Prometheus, Grafana, and the other login machine. I'm forgetting the name right now. So there is for whenever you start the login, there is this exit for the server whenever there is an error. Is this what's wanted, or should the server still be able to just return the error without closing the server?
So is Matthew or Hussein on today? Husseina is. Any thoughts, Husseina? Or Lennox, do you want to, can I cover that a little again real fast?
Yeah. So for the login for in the machines for the server, whenever we set up the login, there is this whenever if we have an error, we are immediately like just crashing the server, or not crashing it, but like we are just halting its process, I guess. So is this what's wanted? Because I was going through it and I see that, well, we are returning, if there is another error, we are just returning the error and the server is still ongoing. So I was like, well, maybe this is what's wanted, but all of them share the same behavior. And going through this is something that Mambi brought up. Going through the commit history before, it wasn't like this was added by a contributor. So she thinks that this is just like a copy and paste code with the previous behavior. And over here, the server is still uh alive even if the login doesn't work. So it's that's why we were kind of like searching for some more of a conclusive answer on whether this should be removed or not.
Does anybody on the call have thoughts?
So basically, in this particular error case, we are just doing OS exit and not proceeding further, or are we crashing the server? I have to see the commit history actually.
Okay. I'll go ahead because this was added like 2 years ago
So I mean,
before when.
can you tell me like what?
Mhm.
Mhm.
How can I provide more clarification? So
So are you suggesting that we should just log an error and return rather than uh,
it's
exiting?
one of the contributors raised an issue in which they noticed that over here we're just like not doing we're doing a no op on the machines and then we're just returning the error. So over here they were suggesting that it should be the same behavior pretty much, that instead of, well, since we don't have the event builder, we can just return nil with the error, and also like a no ops instead of just doing an OS exit instead. That's pretty much what the it's being suggested.
We have a little extra time, so now is a good opportunity for anybody on the call to just learn or to attempt to provide feedback, and you won't be chastised or harassed, I promise. You'll just be helped. Yeah, so Daniel says, hey, Daniel says, I think we should return an error. And so I guess, line 35 is attempting to do something like that, and then you're exiting. But to Daniel's point, something that, and Hussein can tell everyone this as well, something that Meshery as a project, it has its own formatting for errors. And so that formatting, we have a centralized library that Umkar was talking about earlier. It's called Meshkit. A long time ago, there was a library called GoKit, made by Peter Borgden, if I'm saying his last name correctly. But so Meshkit was sort of formed based on that same premise that there are many reusable libraries or functions that that happens to be written in Golang, then, which is what Meshkit as a library is written in, there's many centralized reusable functions that you don't have to rewrite, and that help ensure uniformity of behavior for Meshery and all of its components across the Meshery ecosystem. So as such, on line 35, we, as a project, we do not use Logrus. That's a logging library. It's quite popular. There's newer logging libraries. But this project doesn't or shouldn't be using it. So that's one thing that we should get rid of. In fact, if anyone has an AI next to them, an LLM next to them, hey, anywhere you see use of logras, replace it with the Meshkit error codes. There's a contributor guide. There's a page in Meshery docs, a contributor guide that talks all about error codes and logging with Meshkit. Go ahead, Lennox.
Yeah, so in the contributor guide, it says that any logras should be replaced for log error, I guess. I don't know if that's accurate. Okay.
Yeah, that's probably aliased to Meshkit. Yeah. The nice thing about Meshkits, so anyway, if whoever's interested, if you go look up the error code framework in Meshkit, it's kind of neat in that it's a structured log, and it provides users with what probably occurred, what occurred, what's probably the problem, and some steps to remediate it. So yeah, so that's one issue. The second issue is like Linux, in context of this particular, if you go back to those couple of lines, the concern that you were talking about. So for everyone here, when Meshery connects to an external resource, in this case, Meshery server was trying to connect to a Grafana server. And so as it goes to do that, there's like, is the other system available over the network? That's like a concern, one of the first concerns. It is, can I authenticate to it, or do I even need to? Okay, I can, or I can't. Even though I can authenticate, am I authorized to invoke, to perform certain actions with Grafana server? When Meshery goes through this process of registration, part of, if you try to go back to the Grafana one, I don't know if you, when Meshery talks to Grafana, Meshery wants to get a list of all known dashboards. Because one of the things that Meshery allows you to do is import conveniently any dashboards that you have already defined in Grafana. You can just import them right into Meshery and have very similar graphs. Meshery is not trying to displace Grafana. It's a staple of the observability world. Meshery does want to show people some metrics now and again. And so it doesn't want users to have to define their dashboards twice and make it painful. So that's part of the functionality that Meshery does when it registers to a Grafana connection. So understanding that context, you can then go back and try to answer more of Lennox's question of like, well, if in this part of the registration flow, there's some, you need to understand like this, what specific error has occurred. Maybe it's appropriate to like exit, or maybe not. It's probably yes and no. At some point, we probably would exit or stop trying to register if something was bad. But we also, whenever Meshery establishes a connection to any resource, Grafana or Prometheus or GitHub or Kubernetes, each of those are all like specific interactions that Meshery has with Grafana. It's a different interaction that Meshery has with Grafana than it does with Prometheus, as an example. That connection has a life cycle. Maybe you establish it, maybe you kill it. It's very, on a very basic level. But maybe you do a number of other things with that connection. And so all of them have a life cycle, and they're all defined. If you go back to that line that you were on, 35 or what have you, like instead of exiting or before we exit, it might be appropriate to transition from like the connection status from like registered to not found or something like that. So we would generally expect that for each of these, see if everybody can see on the left-hand side in the list of all the Golang files, the folder there, it's called machines at the top. So for those of you who have had to suffer through a couple of computer science classes, you might have at one point talked about state machines or even finite state machines, and then gone back to your dormitory and maybe tried to commit suicide unsuccessfully or something. But So that's what these are. These are state machines. So for each and every type of connection that Meshery supports, there is a state machine that's defined specific to that type of connection, because it can make sense for Kubernetes, yeah, because they're each different. But we want for them to follow, we don't want for them to just randomly exit like Linux is saying. We want for them to exit with intent because it was not found, and that was an intentional state. And so Linux, that's the other aspect to evaluate, is like the Grafana connection definition, the schema file that defines what a Grafana connection is and what all states it can possibly have. That's something that needs to be retrieved from the Meshery registry. And then those states, we must transition through them, and only through them. And we must honor and implement the states as defined in that definition.
I'll go ahead and probably go through that and then update the issue then, so we just don't do an exit, because we have to go through the motions of the wonderful world of the state machines. Yep, it's a fun area.
I see a lot of other files also have similar code. Whenever logger initiation fails, a lot of places we do see that OS exit. I think we have to fix all those instances as well. Facebook basis.
Okay. I will go through this particular folder and then see if there's any other areas of improvement, and then just bring it up in the issue. So I think that's pretty much it for today's meeting, unless someone has anything else to say, or if there is any urgent items that anyone would like to talk about. But I think that we are pretty much at time.
Do we miss anything today? I guess we missed Omalad. Olalai, how do you say Omalade's first name? How do you pronounce it?
Yeah. I think she said Omalade. Well, Omolade.
I don't know, man. It's like you're putting a little
Spanish.
yeah. By the way, is it Nicaraguan?
Yeah.
I don't know if that E turns into an A on the end. I mean, that might just.
It's just in my brain. I think I'm saying it right, but it's probably just my accent taking over me.
All right, so we'll have to follow up with her, because that topic, MCP server, is fairly popular. Like a lot of people are wanting to help advance it, and we might want to just create a couple of other repositories, and then give some people some access to write to them, just to let some experimentation happen, and recognize that any amount of code might be thrown away, but at least people got a chance to give it a shot. One thing that requires a prompt to your LLM or some reading for those that are into that project. And Yash Sharma, this is something for you to digest as well. So I'm speaking out of ignorance. I can almost tell you what MCP stands for, and that's about it. Okay, so I'm not. With that said, computer science and computer systems, they just repeat each other themselves, decade after decade after decade. It's all the same stuff. It all boils down to the same stuff. So an MCP server needs somewhere to run. If you're going to speak to it, there must be a process running and listening at some point. Where would that run? Well, some of you run MCP servers on your machines. your local machines. And some of you maybe call out to them because they're running somewhere else. Well, if Meshery has an MCP server, where would it run? It's a good question to think through. Depending upon how and where, and is it the fact that it would be built in Golang is very centric to Meshery's ecosystem. That makes a ton of sense. It will be a first-class citizen of the Meshery ecosystem if it is, because it'll be able to use Meshkit, like we just talked about. Part of being a first-class citizen of the Meshery ecosystem has a couple of different meanings. One of those meanings can be that you're a Meshery adapter. Every Meshery adapter is a small Golang binary. They can run as a binary or run in a container. They all have some uniform functionality. Like when you spin up a Meshery adapter container, it needs to go register with Meshery server and talk to Meshery server. It needs to find out where Meshery server is. That's a challenge. It needs to authenticate to it. That's a challenge. It needs to register its capabilities with Meshery server. It needs to do just this common substrate of minutia, and needs to do it securely as well. So all those concerns that have nothing to do with MCP, those are handled by the Meshery adapter framework. Should the MCP server be written in context of that framework and take advantage of that uniformity and all those other concerns, or should it be written separate? And that's something I've been trying to get a couple of us to tease out and to form some opinions on. And by the way, it takes someone just stating an opinion and stating a direction or proposing a direction that might be completely wrong or might be totally right. But if someone doesn't do it and let other people beat it up into its very best thing, then we won't make it, or we won't get there. We won't know. There's a ton of learning in those proposals. For those of you who are saying, yeah, I had such a proposal and I've sent it over, it's like, if you're asking me to invest my time to go read through something that you had generated, come over and earn that time and earn that feedback. Show up to the meetings like each of you are. It's great. Lots of context has just been given in this meeting about why it might make a lot of sense for the adapter framework to be used. I'm not saying it has to be, I'm just saying there's merit to that suggestion. So go attempt to disprove that, or go attempt to prove that, or do both. Try to beat up the idea. Part of the challenge with, I think, with having the MCP server written in Golang is Golang is a compiled language. So if you do install the MCP server locally, not all of us are running Gentoo Linux like I am right now. Just kidding. I'm running Mac. Okay, fine. I'm not that cool. So I know it doesn't look like that. To look at me, it looks pretty cool. Even though my haircut isn't as awesome as Yash Sharma's. I mean, his is just, oh man, that guy. But anyway, point is, let's stop talking about how cool he is, how cool Yash is. When you compile Golang, it's like, hey, if you're going to run it locally, there's that other concern then of, well, what's the architecture that they're running? And now we've got to have different versions. And so that's not necessarily something to avoid. It's just something to be aware of and have a plan for.
Yeah, I just want to give my quick comment on this. I think we are already right, so I will be quick. I missed the last part. I don't know if we discussed the MCP or not. I was on a call with someone else. But so far, I think, yeah, I'm not sure if someone is leading. I have to look onto it. But I do have a couple of things that I also want to make sure we are doing it. I saw that there is a PR already raised. I don't see if there is a lot of things like multi-tenancy also need to be taken care of, uh, because we can't let anyone do anything with MCP. So I'm not sure if the one pager or the proposal like RFC is already for MCPs there. Otherwise, maybe I can try to initiate this, yeah, in case it's not already there.
Sounds good. I'm pretty sure there's more than this many MCP server design spec like proposals out there. If you look on the discussion forum and you look in our developers at Meshery.io mailing list, there's a few. But yeah, to your point, Yash, like, hey, we're probably going to need people to authenticate so that way multi-tenancy can be enforced and security can be what you would expect.
Yeah. So I think I'll go through it and I'll try to have it my own to do this weekend. I have a couple of things to take care of this week, but after that I'll make sure to do that. Awesome. Thank you.
Anybody else? We got started a little late. We went way over time. Thankfully, Knox is here and he hosted. Thank you very much.
Hi.
Yeah.
So regarding the MCP server thing, I was actually investigating more into the proposal because I found it interesting. So I have some kind of direction and some questions. Can I bring it up right now?
Do it.
So I was thinking, when we think about the MCP proposal, since you already have it, so the direction I was thinking was to make it more Meshery specific rather than building a generic MCP wrapper, like focusing it on workflows and agents and like model and component discovery, working with designs, relationship evaluation capabilities and stuff. Like basically what we want is that an agent should be able to go from understanding what Meshery has to creating or modifying a design, then evaluating it, understanding from evaluation result and iterating on it, right? So it's like MCP server becomes more of an agent interface to Meshery rather than the generic like exposing some API endpoints. So I was thinking I'd start with a small core of high value tools and then expand based on what we find useful while during implementation. So is this a clear MVP we can work on?
Starting small is like, as a matter of fact, I think you'd make Yash Sharma feel even more, and some of the other people who are interested feel even better. My answer is like, yes, and please expect to just throw it away. Whatever, like start super small, prove that that we even can describe to an agent the fact that Meshery is capable of configuring your infrastructure in a very highly specific way, and here's how you would ask for that, and here's how you put that together. Like, yeah, start as super small as you can, put something together that's demoable. That's all, like, code always speaks louder than words.
So like when I'm trying to implement this, like you said, code or questions I have, should I like raise draft PRs for that and tag it to the issue or discuss it on Slack?
Well, I think I just have a suggestion. Maybe I think if you guys let me know what do you think. I think we can attach in the issue itself as well, and it will be really nice if we have a doc as well, so that we have a one pager where all of us can go and see like what's the work going on and provide the feedback in the doc itself in case we have multiple issues. As we go forward step by step. What do you guys think?
Yeah, central design spec is wonderful. Yeah, I mean, like Haya, it's by the way, that's a heck of a first name.
It's Hia.
Oh, Hia. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Nobody calls you hello, yeah?
Sometimes.
Oh yeah. If they make terrible jokes like me, but Hia. Yeah. Anyway, what Yash had said makes a ton of sense. Otherwise, a lot of us end up repeating ourselves and having some of the same conversations. But yeah, centralizing it into a design spec, either a Google Doc or a Markdown file, that really helps. I don't have the right, like for this, for me, I didn't really want to or have the time to participate much. It's just that I know that it's necessary. The description of the thing is like whoever gets involved needs to be able to do it independently. So like go do something wrong and then we'll figure out how to make it right.
Yeah.
Well, thanks everybody for sticking around. Thanks Lennox for hosting.
No problem.
Yeah. All right. See you guys. See you all. Bye. Yeah. I mean, yeah, that was, oh man, it's so easy. All right.
Hi everyone.
Yeah, bye.
Yeah, so I'm a newcomer here. Is this the right time to introduce? The
Oh,
meet is gonna end.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Right as we're like saying goodbye, it's like the perfect time to introduce. No,
Yeah.
dude, no. Yeah, please do it. I mean, I don't know what to, like. I'm not sure how to answer that question other than.
Yeah. So
just say,
thank you, Lee.
Yeah, you're no, no,
So
no,
my
no,
name.
no, 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 no. Other than just say like, you're asking to be harassed. In the moment that people are saying goodbye, you're saying, "Can you?" You can go ahead and do it. I'm going to take off, and I'll see you guys next time.
Okay, sure.